Hey, what's up guys, aarava here, and welcome back to a brand new video here today, talking about the brand new Need for Speed Heat gameplay trailer that dropped at Gamescom a few days ago. I know I'm late to the party a little bit compared to maybe some other YouTubers here and there, but I've had other content to make as well at the same time, but finally getting around to this and going through kind of all the kind of details you might have missed in the trailer if you just watched it back at normal speed. We're going to go through a little bit slower and pick out little details here and talk about what they could mean for the gameplay aspects themselves for the full game. So let's hit it and let's go through it.
Welcome to Palm City, a fresh world with new customizations and the return of cops. Make Palm City an urban oasis for those who burn fast and live by their own rules.
Now, straight away, this game looks visually absolutely stunning. I said it in the previous video I did when we first got the reveal. I love the whole kind of cyberpunk sort of vibe, the edgy kind of, well, that Miami feel, really. It's Miami kind of colors and Miami kind of neon lights there. But I mean, just look at this as well. The Speed Hunter Showdown. This is one thing I tweeted about actually at the time is, so you've got this day to nighttime transition and gameplay differences in Need for Speed Heat. In the day, you make all your money with proper sanctioned racing under the Speed Hunter Showdown here. And scenes like this really give you kind of pro street kind of vibes almost. Even, you know, I know Need for Speed Shift was a proper track racer, but even that kind of vibe, but more pro street really. And that was a really underrated game, I feel. And, you know, that kind of proper track racing, I know for me, probably a bit of bias because I'm so used to track racing with F1 games, but I really enjoy that kind of gameplay and that idea of having proper actual circuit kind of racing where there's, you know, a proper actual lap-to-lap race, even sprint races there, but it's all properly coordinated rather than kind of a mess the entire time. You know, that you can have the messy races at nighttime with the cops involved, the kind of illicit races, but you have the proper actual sanctioned ones during the day. It really looks cool. And this kind of lineup here, I'm assuming this might be kind of like one of the final showdown races, basically, you know, with all the crowds and whatnot, the banners as you build towards the final showdown, as it were. I think that's essentially what the gameplay is going to be like, and what the kind of main story arc will be is you're making your way up the pecking order, I guess, to the proper final showdown, whilst at the same time trying to, you know, get reputation, get your car up there as well. But you do that in the nighttime only. That's the only way you can actually increase your rep, is by racing illicit races at nighttime, and then you do all the money stuff at the day. So it gives you differences, things different to do, and kind of just gives you that chop and change. You know, Need for Speed 2015, always at nighttime, got a little bit samey. Same thing with Payback. You know, they had nighttime, but it wasn't too different in terms of what actually happened. Whereas this feels like they're giving the edge of that when you actually go into nights, you will really realize that it's a different kind of world, different kind of Palm City that we're going to be playing in.
Make Palm City an urban oasis for those who burn fast and live by their own rules. Daytime offers sanctioned racing events through the Speed Hunter Showdown. Compete and score bank with each new win. Then use the rewards to tweak your car's performance and visual customization. Cops patrol the streets during the day, but they play by the rules, finding you for speeding and limiting your progress using controlled moves.
So I absolutely love the little scenes here where you can see the crowd either side. You've got this proper, you know, cordon off bit of circuit here. We can look at the map here, kind of on the left-hand side. You can see a bit more of the city, as it were, essentially. So this looks like a very gridded, built-up area, but we also know we've seen a few little vistas here, some off-road parts as well. So I think this map is going to be quite expansive and quite different in different areas. I'm just hoping that most of the map, a lot of it is these kind of built-up areas, because that was the issue with Payback for me especially, was it was such a big map, which was great, but there was a lot of stuff not going on there in between places, in between highways, whereas these built-up areas where you can kind of drift through and just try and race through as well for circuit races makes for more interesting tracks perhaps. As we go through some of these shots here, if you just look at the detailing on the cars, the kind of paint finish and whatnot, you can really tell that actually they've even made a step up from where Payback was in terms of the visual fidelity on the cars itself. And actually find out later in this trailer that we actually get to it, they have actually revamped the customization system quite a fair bit, especially on the paints and the finishes, to just make these cars pop a little bit more on top of already the kind of improvements they've made to the kind of city and just general graphics of the game. But now we get to the interesting part about cops.
Cops patrol the streets during the day, but they play by the rules, finding you for speeding and limiting your progress using controlled moves to slow you down. Roam the open world, nab challenges and collectibles. Spend as much time here as you like. When you're ready, switch into night.
Love that transition. Absolutely love that transition. I made a gif of it on Twitter. It's just such a banging track. So kudos to whoever edited it. Really nice one. I talked about it in the reveal trailer, but let's just go back there. So in the daytime, cops will be roaming around in free roam, which is really cool to see. I mean, we had that little shot there of us just stood there and the cop coming round. I don't know how often that will actually happen of you just being sat there and the cop goes round. If it does, you know, that'd be pretty cool if you just sat there and the cop's roaming around, maybe looking for, you know, to bust someone basically, and then you speed across. I'm guessing if you speed past them, they will start to chase you down. You can see we've got level 1 heat on the top there. The cop chase has started, so we've obviously hit them a little bit or chase after them and gone past them. They've got them blues and reds, and so they'll start chasing us, and they're going to use controlled maneuvers to take us out there. And then I'm assuming probably a little bit more dirty maneuvers and kind of not playing by the rules when we get to the daytime in terms of the things they'll do to stop you, whereas in the daytime they'll just try and hit you off basically, maybe try and slow you down. We had that little cutscene perhaps of this, you know, stepping out of the car. I doubt you'll actually ever see your character always constantly being taken out of their car if you do get busted. I think that was more maybe a story kind of cutscene perhaps, but it would be very, very cool if you could do that and you had that kind of rapport, or not rapport, but kind of relationship with the cops of them actually taking you out of your car, because there is also going to be player customization confirmed later on in this trailer. But that was the daytime, and we're going to move it on all the way back to the nighttime there. But yeah, you can get collectibles and whatnot in the day, and then nighttime, everything's changed. You can see that transition there, lovely stuff, and then you can see the heat level has already got a little bit bigger. You got the kind of more cops on you, and then we're going to go into the rest of the trailer where it talks about then getting some rhinos out and some helicopters as well.
Build your rep by competing in illicit street races. The more you win, the more your heat will rise and the more rep you'll gain. But having all eyes on you comes with a price. Cops are on another level at night, and you'll become a target as your heat level increases. As it gets higher, they'll ratchet up their efforts to stop you.
So straight away, nighttime looks epic. I love the vibe of it. I've said that a few times, but there's no other way to kind of describe it here. It just looks so cool and so different to the daytime. So you've got the illegal street races, some insane fire to start the race or end the race, I guess, and you can see the people in their cars actually stood by there, kind of almost like an illegal meet, kind of watching you race there on the streets. And then when you win, that's where you get the reputation there. So you can see the heat level going up and the rep level going up. So again, you win the rep at night, get the money during the day, and combine those two to kind of level up your car and your customization and I guess your progression in the game, as it were. And then we get to talking about the cops there. You can see looking a lot more aggressive. Obviously, the Crown Vics were out during the day, but now we've got the proper heavy hitters, the sturdier Chevrolets coming out there to try and bash you off the road, the Corvettes as well, as we get up through to level 3, and you've got the armored police vans as well as we're about to see the Rhino and helicopters as well. We saw that shot in the reveal trailer. I wasn't too sure if that was going to be really part of the cop chase there, but helicopters, like we had in Payback a little bit in story kind of moments where they kind of electrocute you and try and basically slow you down that way. Perhaps that's what they're going to be doing, or just a better vantage point for the cops to try and track you, so it's even harder on level 5 for you to get away from these guys because they've got an aerial aid here. But yeah, as we come through the gameplay, then we've got new enforcements incoming there as we speed this through. Corvette on the left, Chevrolet on the right, and then bang, pinched you in and hit by a cop there. Raise your heat level, but that's pretty much your total. I mean, that is a big amount of damage there. Real nice stuff on the police chase. And then, yeah, you can see you've been busted, so that's a nice little cutscene there. And again, your character will be displayed in these cutscenes when you customize them, as well as your car. You can see they're getting a fine there for being busted, but I don't think it will be actually out on the road like we saw in the reveal trailer. But again, we just go through these cop chases there. You can see a fine detail of the tires being punctured there. You can actually see the tire is no longer even on the rear tires, maybe not even on the front tires as well, so completely spun out there. So that will be game over if you get done by a spike strip maybe there. So you're pretty much going to get busted for sure. And then we get through to the end of the little cop scene, and it talks about escaping the cops, and this is real kind of most wanted vibes of escaping them into a cooldown area or your garage to try and get away from them. And again, with the helicopter, I'm assuming it might be getting even harder. Level 5, you're going to have to try and duck under some bridges and some proper underground bits to try and actually get rid of them before going to a cooldown area into the garage. But then we get into the garage part, and it's all about talking about customization and the performance upgrades.
Step into your garage where you can tune your setup to your liking. Pick a car and make it your own. We've replaced the speed cards from Payback. You can now unlock parts by building up rep at night and use the bank you've earned during the day to level up your ride.
Straight away, it looks like a revamped garage system then for NFS Heat, and it's looking a little bit better in terms of you can actually see a lot more cars there, so more cars on display in your first bit of your garage, not just in the warehouse compared to what was the case in Payback. And then, unlike Payback, they've got rid of those speed cards, which really were not great. I mean, they're okay at the start, a little bit of fun, but then they dragged on, and you kind of actually found them annoying, basically having to gamble through of what speed card you'd get. They've kind of gone back to what they had in 2015 with the proper, you can just spend money on parts, and you can see they're all unlocked at rep. So you need to not only have the money from the daytime races, but you need to actually get the rep to unlock the parts there. And you can see you can actually do engine swaps here. Naturally aspirated turbocharger, dual turbocharger, root supercharger, centrifugal supercharger, and turbocharger there, level 39. So you can do engine swaps in the game, so you can finally put some crazy big engines into smaller cars or vice versa, and go for some different turbos as well, and try and change the sound of your engine as well. We'll get to that in a sec. But on the right hand side, you can see that different system of now you kind of got this square board, so it's almost like the FIFA hexagon, if you will. On FIFA, when you have a team playing and you have attacking, midfield and defense, you have that kind of hexagon of where your kind of team is strengths at. Perhaps in the old school FIFAs they have that. I don't know if they have it in current FIFAs, but anyway, it's kind of like that. Basically, you've got that kind of marker point, and you can kind of fluidly go from road to race to drift to off-road. And we've been told the handling model should be a lot better in terms of revamp. And I guess the hope is with this modeling system, handling system, we don't know what it's going to be like fully yet. I'm sure the YouTubers out in Gamescom will confirm with gameplay as well and talking about it. Is the hope is that when you do kind of grip modifications to the car, it's not going to drift, and drifting is going to be a slower way around the track as it would be in real life. That's the kind of hope we'll have to see, but that fluidity kind of is good to me. I think that fluidity of going from race to road, having that kind of mixture of both, I think is really cool, because then you can kind of mix and match and kind of fine-tune to where you specifically want the kind of car, because you might want a road car, but you also want a little bit of drifting here and there, or you might want a full race car, or a race car that still is a little bit softer on the springs potentially to be a little bit more of a road car, because a full race car is going to be very stiff and might not turn as you want to. So a bit of a better system, I guess, in the menus to kind of show you how you're kind of tuning your car essentially. And then we get through to the finishes of the car, I believe, as we look through the customization. Obviously, different wings, obviously a small look, but hopefully there's going to be some real bonkers wings out there to completely ruin or make some cars. But here, this is what I'm talking about, the different paint finishes. You've got now carbon fiber, but you've got the two-tone carbon fiber, even three-tone in a way, because you've got pink to blue to green there. But then just some of these newer finishes that they've got on the customization, you can see there a bit of, what was that, speckle, metal flake finish there with the red, and then you got the even crazy, I don't even know what the word is anymore. I can't remember. Basically, the paint finish where you put the light on it and it kind of changes. I can never remember the name of it. And then we've got this very cool addition, exhaust tuning.
Our tuning system gives your ride a bark to go with this bike.
Oh, that sounds exquisite. So, we've got this new menu. You can go from simple to throaty on the tone. The timber, you can go smooth and aggressive, overrun to subtle or raw, and then renaissance stock to metallic. So, you've got that kind of actual pitch of the engine note. You know, it's going to be a bit more simple. It's going to have a bit of a bark to it underneath. But then you've got the timbre of it. So, how kind of raspy it is, I guess. And the overrun is how much it kind of, you know, basically farts, I guess, you know, the kind of fart can sort of thing you can put on kind of crappier cars that you see some chavs doing. Or how much it kind of just it keeps on overrunning on the tick over, and then the resonance itself from stock to metallic, so having that kind of echo-ness and that kind of chamber-like sound in when you've got a metallic exhaust.
Then go beyond the car. Craft and create your own unique avatar to represent your style in Palm City.
So, character customization in Need for Speed, very, very cool. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you'll know I'm very much into my kind of sneaker culture and also streetwear, so it was really cool to see Need for Speed embracing actual licensed kind of shoes and clothes in the game. That's really, really cool. Obviously, you won't see your character a lot, but in cutscenes, you'll see them, of course, and as we go on through this, you can see here, these little parts we saw in the reveal trailer, showing off the character a bit more. This is why they kind of wanted to emphasize that in the reveal trailer, because you'll be able to show off your character, what you got going on in the game. Also online, I'm assuming maybe some cutscenes online when you win races potentially as well. So very, very cool feature just to add that kind of more personalization touch to your game, basically. And then we get to NFS Heat Studio. So this is just a mobile app, basically, for Need for Speed, where you've actually got the proper kind of engine, almost, of the game on mobile, and you can customize your car on the mobile app, Heat Studio, and then plug it straight back into the actual game. So you can customize cars on the go, and then plug them into your game for free.
Weekly car drops, a full line of custom parts, and a rap editor. And show off your Need for Speed style today.
So very cool. You see an example here of someone making this livery on the app, essentially, then plugging it into the game, comes through, loads in. You apply, obviously, you need to buy, actually, buy with in-game currency, you need to apply the customization because you spent, obviously, money doing the paintwork. Obviously, on the app, it doesn't show up because it's not plugged into the game, but you can basically do the design on the app, go to the game, spend your in-game currency then on the actual application of the customization there, and there you go, looking pretty sweet. So from mobile app to the game to on the road on your new car there.
Your cruise rides will be displayed in your garage, so you're always up to speed with their latest creations. Every race means risk. Another chance to lose everything you've worked for.
So there's a crew system in NFS Heat, it would seem, for the online multiplayer. So your crew's actual cars are now displayed properly in the garage with all the customization they've got, so you can have a look at what they're rocking. And then the actual races themselves will be tightly connected to this crew system. So I'm guessing either you can be, you make your own crew, or you'll be put into a crew just to race with other people and basically encourage some online racing. And I like the concept of, he kept saying basically everything's, a risk, it's danger, you could lose everything. That kind of actual aspect of, if you muck up, you can literally lose a ton of in-game cash. You could potentially lose your car, maybe, I don't know. That would be pretty sick as well, if having that kind of danger level, basically, if you get busted by cops. So the emphasis on cops being a real aspect and big gameplay factor now is so much bigger than it was in Payback with the whole bait crates and whatnot. This will be a proper actual game feature that you'll notice straight off the bat in Night Time and during the day as well.
Turn the key. Burn all limits.
So there we have it. That is Need for Speed Heat. Very, very cool gameplay trailer. As a whole, when you watch it back totally, I love the editing, the music and everything. The vibe's great. And I'm just liking what I'm seeing so far. Obviously, we yet to really see what the handling is like and what the race gameplay would be like. Obviously, I'm not at Gamescom, unfortunately, but other YouTubers might be. So it'll be interesting to see what the kind of racing gameplay is like if we get stuff for that. Because, like I said, for me, it might have a bit of bias, but I always do enjoy a good kind of proper, actual, organized race, if it will, during the daytime. That's going to be a lot of fun. And then doing the kind of more cop stuff during the night time to kind of get the rep up there. But that's been all the little details you might have missed in the trailer, or at least stuff that I think is interesting to me in the trailer from that gameplay stuff. So guys, if you did enjoy the video, hit that like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below about what you thought of the trailer itself, and then the little details that we picked out in today's video. If you are new around here, do go subscribe for some more Need for Speed Heat content. Hopefully I will actually get my hands on some exclusive kind of earlier gameplay as we get on towards near the release. Obviously I wasn't at Gamescom this past week, but hopefully towards more the release I'll be able to get some early access stuff along with the other YouTubers that are out there at the moment. But yeah, that's been this video then, guys. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.